Management sent us out there to do work. Are you gonna complain again as usual? Of course. I'm gonna go to my union representative about this. Union representative. You guys have a union? Why, yeah. Do you not have one in your foundation? It's not even a thing. Oh, I feel sorry for you. Wait a minute. You're a Presidium officer. Containment are the only ones with a union, and you're not some low-level janitor last time I checked. Oh yeah. Crud. Whatever. Go make a video about it and do a let's compare contrast series of how the Foundation doesn't have a union and how the Authority benefits more than okay then. Working for an organization like the RPC Authority brings a lot of benefits to its employees that range greatly from providing health insurance, mental support, amazing year-end bonuses for the best division, and most importantly, workers' rights. Workers' rights helps the Authority in maintaining a steady morale and strong workforce in a sense that its employees are entitled to the aforementioned services. But there are a lot of low-level staff that are often disgruntled or are unhappy about their current working conditions, and many of those tend to be from the containment division. Containment personnel are highly regarded for their maintenance and operations across the organization, and some tasks taken by some tend to be hazardous or labor-intensive. At some point, the need for more representation unionization was created to allow the low-level staff of containment workers to gain more benefits for their hard-working role. So yes, the Authority has a union if you don't know, and they are somewhat a fraction of the organization in terms of the structure. They play a vital role in making sure that the average worker, who isn't usually a typical researcher or security officer, is happy in their working conditions. Let's talk about the Maintenance Union, their reasons for existing, and why they are important in maintaining Authority operations. Now, the first question that some of you may ask is, wait, a secret shadowy organization has a workers' union? Well, yeah. The Authority for quite some time has had a workers' union, but it isn't much like your typical workers' union in the sense that they have the power to make all demands be met through a general strike. The union is an organization built on informal hierarchies, decentralized and fragmented across varying site facilities. There is no central structure for all unions, but I could imagine that it is a joint venture that would occur should an issue be concerned at the regional level. Whether there is a structure of a union at the regional or global level is quite debatable. What does a union structure look like within a site facility? Generally, a maintenance union would always have a primary representative known as the chief union representative, an individual who would be an executive leader of that respective union. They are then followed by union leaders and then general members, those being the average containment workers from janitors, cooks, and both essential and non-essential personnel of the containment division. Within a certain period, usually 2 or 3 years, the union hosts annual elections to elect their union representatives, and the chief representative that allows the changing of continuous leaderships and voices to be properly represented within a union. Now, unlike the directorate who holds special elections for global directors, both regional and divisional, the union elections are more akin specific to only containment workers within this division. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, if they are a workers' union and their demands are not being met, can they go on a general strike? No, they can't. The union conducting a general strike? Absolutely fucking not. There is a very good reason why general strikes are banned within the organization, but we need to dive deep into the reasoning behind why they were banned to begin with. The year is 1979. A period marked by scandalous breaches and an economic recession that damaged the Authority's finances. The Authority would have been able to make a recovery had the Financial Affairs Office uncovered that the Protection Division misappropriated their budgets, which resulted in massive setbacks in annual income and instability of several front companies. Due to the financial misappropriations, an Authority austerity-wide program was launched, and the Protection Division took the most damage from budgetary cutbacks, coinciding with growing instability and uncertainty within the organization. As a result of the financial setbacks endured by Protection, among other events, approximately 80 to 90% of non-essential personnel for the Protection Division unilaterally went on a general strike. Senior figures associated in this move formed a labor union, which was soon thereafter followed by the Research Division, joining in on their Protection counterparts, effectively bringing international operations to a deadlock. With the labor unions of the Research and Protection Divisions, contingent deliberations with the Presidium to find a common ground were delayed or curtailed largely by increasing conditions that became impossible to comply with. As many of the union's demands were becoming increasingly difficult, the Presidium practically almost became dysfunctional as a result, and both the divisions attempted to gain control of the situation. So yeah, it was a terrible period for the Authority to run their operations. More so almost collapsed itself because of the unpopular financial decisions they made to counter these budgetary issues. Fortunately, however, within almost a year of the general strikes, the Presidium negotiated with the union leaders to create a comprehensive agreement. Hailed as the Authority Labor Agreement, this document basically expanded Human Resources Department and authorized them to ensure fair wages and appropriate working conditions for all personnel, despite the ongoing economic crisis. However, as part of this agreement, the union organizations of the Research and Protection Divisions had to be disbanded, with the exception of the Containment Division. This period of the Authority's history would be called the Union Strikes of 1979 to 1980. An important event that brought the basis of fair working conditions and better benefits for future employees of the RPC Authority. This is why the maintenance union can't go on strikes, because it threatens the foundations and operations of the RPC Authority. But why was the Containment Division the only ones allowed to keep their respective union? Why is it so important to the Authority? Aside from the union providing a voice to the staff of containment that ensures site operations and maintenance, the union plays a vital role in preventing one thing from occurring on a continuous basis. The true purpose of the union isn't to primarily greatly benefit the average janitor or chef de cuisine, but rather to prevent procedural errors and missteps by personnel that would be often noticed by low-level staff before anybody else. Let me ask you this. Who do you think would be the first person to notice a dangerous and hazardous condition that would be ignored by a complacent researcher or security officer? A low-level staff. Noticing these issues such as these have, believe it or not, prevented a number of catastrophes and security breaches across all corners of the organization. It is this that the union greatly has power and importance, reporting security and hazardous issues to departments and divisions that would otherwise be left unnoticed. While the maintenance union has always been to represent the low-level staff and hard workers of the Containment Division, they are always the ones that prevent disasters behind the scenes. Should you encounter a janitor cleaning up a leak in the hallways of a site, be always mindful that they might be preventing a potential disaster as you wander about your day.